What if some of the most important parts of our history were never written but painted instead? Because sometimes art speaks where words fail, and today we are about to experience that firsthand. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are at the Artist Alliance Gallery, exploring our art's old stories of our culture, identity and history. Founded by the well-known Ghanaian artist, Professor Ablade Glover, this gallery showcases the incredible collection of paintings, sculptures and traditional artworks that beautifully reflects on Ghanaians' rich culture and creativity. In this video, I will take you through selected artworks, break down the stories behind them and share what they reveal about our past. So stay with me, let's explore our art speaks when words fall short. Our guide for today's tour is Oscar Glover, who will be taking us through the artworks and sharing the stories behind them.
So your mission here will let me tell you what to do. First of all, let me go through the history of the place. Artist Alliance Gallery is a dream work of one of our renowned artists named Professor Ablade Glover. He's a Presby-trained man. Initially, he was a pupil teacher for a Presby school. Luckily for him, he was among a few that the first president of this country chose to go outside, to go and learn and come and practice.
But beyond its origins, what truly defines this space is how these artworks capture moments of history, telling stories that were never written, but carefully preserved through art. To understand this better, let's hear more from our guide.
When we look at this work, it's a typical artwork by Professor Ablade Glover. We can see the hats in our market. These days it's not common in the capital. You see them in the village, and then you see the people all over in the market. So those days our market was not a planned market. It's just a simple place where everybody has been able to make a shelf for himself or herself, and they sit under the shelf, and the people move in between the shelves to do their various purchases. So this is a typical market scene by Professor Ablade Glover. So anybody who knows Ablade, you see how he uses the paint. He uses the knife to pick the paint, and then he brushes it over. Yes.
The use of the knife technique gives the painting a sense of movement and depth. As we continue through the gallery, we now turn our attention to another artist whose work offers a different expression of Ghanaian life and creativity.
By one of our young artists called Philip Kuma uses our textiles cloth. He cuts them into pieces and is able to put them together in various shades. And he's able to come out with portraits, various types of portraits. He does also big compositions too, but usually you see him best in portraits. And these are all cloth that have been put together. He adds a little of paints. So here you can see the art, what we call the mixed painting. It's mixed, he's putting added materials, paints and all that. And he's put them together with the various shades to be able to get the face. And that is the face of Nelson Mandela we can all see.
Now, let's take a closer look at what this artwork represents through my own understanding. As I move through the Artist Alliance Gallery, each artwork expresses its own unique story and reflection of Ghanaian culture and identity. What stood out to me most was the work of Professor Ablade Glover, whose art captures the energy of contemporary Ghanaian life. His paintings reflect everyday experiences, especially scenes of movement, interaction, and community life. Many of his works focus on lively market environments filled with people and activity. This energetic scene shows his deep interest in human behavior and the rhythm of daily life. When you observe a busy market, there is constant motion that is difficult to fully capture. Yet his work transforms the complexity into expressive visual storytelling through color, texture, and form. I also noticed a painting of a woman that, in my interpretation, represents strength, confidence, and resilience, qualities often associated with Ghanaian women in everyday life. Through work like this, it becomes clear that the artist sees beauty in ordinary moments and transforms them into powerful visual narratives that reflect society and culture. And this is what makes art powerful. It preserves stories of life, identity, and culture that are often not written in books but deeply felt through visual expression. To gain deeper insights, I decided to ask our tour guide a question. So please, I would like to know the people who patronize this art gallery.
Most, I would say about 90% of those who patronize it are the expatriates. Visitors that come to this country to visit Ghana, to find what Ghana has. Foreigners, I would say about 60% of them are those from the diaspora, US, and then US, Canada, and Jamaica, and the rest. Because most of our works here also have a lot of historical relationship.
This shows that the gallery is not only a local space, but also attracts people from around the world who are interested in Ghanaian culture and history. Through these artworks, we begin to see that history is not only written in books, but also preserved in stories captured on canvas.